Well, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the II Racing League. Tonight, on Thursday, we have the 81 race at the USA Grand Prix at Coda. After a thrilling race last Tuesday in a no assist race where Ross picked up the championship, will we have also a very exciting race during this 81 race with Josh leading the championship with 295 points, followed by Deflated Wee, who has 67 points less than Josh. And a good evening to you also, TD. How are you doing, mate? Sadly, I'm alone tonight. Aquarius sadly is not feeling well, so I will be doing the stream alone tonight. Hopefully, will he be back next week? Still waiting for the last drivers to join. I believe we have a total of 18 drivers tonight, so we got a pretty full grid. And waiting for the go-ahead signal. Good evening, Spark. How are you doing? I tried to keep the hang of the chat during the qualifying, but like I said, I'm alone tonight, so I'm doing fine. Sadly, Aquarius is not so fine tonight, but again, I manage. And it's a great tier to follow, so let's hope to see some close racing like we see all season long. So I see some drivers are pretty eager to get going. Good evening, Sun God. How are you doing? So now it's waiting to the game to get loaded up and the drivers get their setups in. And let's see who will be the first driver to get out on track. Tuesday we saw a lot of drivers getting penalties. Will it be the same during this race? We will have to wait and see, and I think it will be inevitable to finish the race without penalties. But if you do, you can make really great. You have a great opportunity to make up positions. And we have rain. Will we have rain for the complete of the race, or will it only be during this qualifying? If there are any drivers in the chat, yes, next it's raining. So let's see. It's intermediates. Yeah, it looked like I was the spin god past Sunday, sun god. Didn't have a really great outing during the race, but and there are already two drivers out on track, and I believe it's a Haas from Felix Bakero who's first one out on track. So because he's the first driver and in front, we will go on his flying lap. We will go on board for a reconnaissance lap. Already invalidated his lap during his out lap, but that doesn't really matter. Currently at the moment it's too wet to go onto the slick tire. Still raining and you only lose time. So and it's already getting pretty busy out on track. Almost half the field out on track with Felix Bakero currently in front of the pack. Yeah, I can imagine, Sun God. It isn't my favorite kind of weather during this game. With Felix Bakero coming onto the start-finish straight. Of course, no DRS during wet weather conditions. And coming uphill into turn 1. Very slow corner where you need to have great traction out of turn 1 into turn 2. And going straight into the S's. Turn 3, 4 and 5, hitting the apexes in those corners. Turn 6. And invalidated this lap. So he has his Ferrari behind him. And that is TD, so let's see what TD can do. Oh, that's a little bit of a moment, almost lost it over there into the hairpin. Into the high gears, so he doesn't have that much wheel spin coming out of that corner. Into this end of the straight also happened to the left, ending the second sector in a 1:11.5. We've got a short yellow flag in sector 1. Really needs some great traction through those corners. Also a corner where you can easily lose your car when you have too much power over that. He needed to lift over there because otherwise he lost the traction out of the corner and going fast in a 1:47.8. I believe that it couldn't be enough. like in beginning of the practice we already saw 1:45, I believe. Scuderia behind the Mercedes. Mercedes getting out of the way with Scuderia going purple in sector 2 and in a 1:11.3, so he's already a little bit faster than TD was in the second sector. Good evening, Overdeck. Scuderia into the second to last corner. Coming into the last corner with Mr. Colucci going second in a 1:49.8. So what can Scuderia do in the Ferrari, and he's going fast in a 1:47.5. So TD's time looks like it was a little bit faster than I imagined. And of course Josh still in pit lane. Normally the last driver going out on track to set a lap in. Currently Hungry Phone, winner of our last race. Into the S's. What can Hungry Phone do on this track in the wet weather conditions? Still it doesn't looking like it's going to be drying out. With TD going even faster in a 1:47.2, but Mr. Wiggles going fastest in a 1:47.1. So Mr. Wiggles looking really up in the pace. With Ross going fastest, the champion of no assist of this season. Going faster in a 1:46.8, so he's going 2/10 up on Mr. Wiggles. Hungry Phone ending his second sector in a 1:11.2. Has a little bit of problems to get out great traction out of that corner, but hitting that apex. Pretty high up in the gears to get enough traction, with Scuderia going faster in a 1:46.7, going 1/10 up on Ross. With Hungry Phone coming into the last corner, onto the start-finish straight, of course no DRS, and going 6 fastest in a 1:47.4. Greg going 10th fastest. Our feature driver of the night, Smaller Smiley. Let's see what he can do. Ending his first sector, coming out of the S's. First sector in a 29.9. Of course, the S's aren't done over there, but coming out of turn 9 into turn 10, I believe. Turn 11 was that. But coming into start finish straight. Again, no DRS in this sector, but coming into turn 11. It's a turn where you can easily go wide and invalidate your lap, but Smaller Smiley stays within the lines. Lines his car up for turn 16, 17 and 18. Doesn't have any problems with that. AlphaTauri just in front of him, and coming into the last corner, and goes in a 1:48.9 and goes 12 fastest. Josh still in pit lane, Pelly also in pit lane, and Platy currently out on track. Those three drivers didn't put a lap time in, and Asmar Frog also needs to improve on his time because he's now 30 seconds behind Smaller Smiley, if I'm correctly calculating that. Again, I try to keep an eye on the chat, but it's nearly impossible for me to keep my eye on the track and on the chat. So sorry if I can't see everything. Platy currently going 7th fastest in 1:47.5, and just like we always see in this tier, it's all so close to each other. With our championship leader Josh coming out of the pit box and out on track for his outlap, with leaving Pelly still in pit lane, and Asma Frog, who has a terrible time currently out on the boards, is out on track. Smaller Smiley improves and goes 8th fastest in a 1:47.6, and it keeps I keep being amazed by this tier with those drivers all so close. And Greg is trying to improve. With we are only losing 2 drivers during this session. With Asma Frog, Pelly, and Josh currently in the danger zone. With 5.5 minutes left on the clock, Asma Frog going into turn 1. So let's see how much he can improve on his time that he did before. I think he had a spin or two during his first try. And a yellow flag in sector 1 for a driver that gets out of the way for Josh, who's currently also on his first flying lap. Asma Frog lines his car up for turn 11. That's a little bit of a wiggle coming out of turn 11 onto the start-finish straight. Go full out ERS. And like we said before, no DRS during wet weather conditions. Taking as much track as he can coming into turn 12. And already going 15 seconds faster than he did before, but still needs a lot more to get into the mix with the drivers in front. With currently TD fastest in a 1:46.4, 2/10 faster than Deflated Wii, with Asma Frog coming into the second to last corner. Onto the start finish straight and going 15th fastest in a 1:48.9. So he still needs 3/10 to make up on his time to get into the mix with Mason. So he still needs a little bit more time. So John Pant retired from the session. And Asma Frog lost his car. has, I think, front wing damage. I can see it from this picture. And Pelly still needs to go out. If he can get out and go faster than John Pant, then I think he can go for. Then he will go to Q2. But and if when I say that he's going out for a lap with TD still looking very strong in these conditions. Our co-commentator during the Tuesday stream with the Sun God. Inflated, we retired from the session with a 146.6. Think he will be safe. And Roscoe currently fastest in a 146.2. So let's go to the fight in the backfield with Mason improving 8 tenths in the second sector. And let's see what he can do in his last few corners. Patch retired in P7 in a 147.3. He's a second slower than Ross is. Greg retired and Mason going 10 fastest in a 147.5. And that would make him safe, I believe. Mason into the last sector, ending his outlap. Mr. Wiggles retired, Hungry Thorn retired. Like I said, we are only gonna lose 2 drivers, and John Pant already retired. So let's see if Pelly can get him out of Q3 of Q1. Yeah, there are some days in Overtake that I really like this track, but most days I hate this track. But those days when you are really into the groove, then yeah, then it's just a magical track. This, but most days then you just lose it in the S's and then it's terrible. With Pelly going into the first start of the long straight, lining his car up for turn 12. With Asma Frog into the pit, so if Pelly can get faster than a 148.1, then he will go to Q2. With currently Ross in P1, what can Pelly do? Currently 12 in the championship. Oh, Pelly lost it in turn 17 or 18, I believe. So I think this will be it for qualifying. And I think we're gonna lose Pelly and we're gonna lose Esma Frog during this session. Yeah, sadly we're gonna lose Pelly and Esma Frog during this session. Ross currently fastest in a 146.2. TD second in a 146.4. Scuderia in the second Ferrari in a 146.5, followed closely by our championship leader Ross in a 146.5. So it's really close because just behind Josh we got deflated in a 146.6. Mr. Wiggles in a 146.9. Then we got a little bit of a gap to Majestic in 147.3, followed by Hungry Throne in 147.4. Also a 147.4 Platy in P9, P10 Mason in the 147.5, and Greg in P11 in also in 147.5. So there you have it for qualifying one. Again, Ross is fastest, followed by TD, Scuderia, Josh, Deflated Wee, Mr. Wiggles, Patch, Hungry Throne, Platy, Mason, Greg, Smaller Smiley, Mr. Clutchy, Felix Bakero, and we're gonna lose John Pant, Esma Frog, and Pally. And I think we lost John Pant by an accident. Yeah, sadly we lost John Pant by an accident. So that's the reason why we lost 3 drivers. Yeah, Japan is also a really fun track to race, and same as Koda. When you are in the groove, then when you are in the momentum, then it's great to drive at the track. But currently, I rather stream than do races. And I think we got Mr. Colucci going out first. Again, it is Felix Bakero going out first. It's already getting pretty busy out on track, so maybe it could be a sign that there will be more rain expected during this session. Because more than half the field is already out on track. Felix Bakero currently first on track, followed by Mr. Colucci and then Scuderia. Those wet weather conditions makes qualifying a lot different. But like I saw in practice, it was really quickly drying up. So, like the behavior we are currently seeing with all drivers on track closely following each other, I think it will be weather during the session. Felix Bakero will be the first driver to go for a flying lap. Again, we'll go for a lap on board. Into turn 1. We got 3 kind of disc turns. Turn 3, 11 and 12. These S's are so tricky in the wet conditions. If you hit those curves too hard, you can easily lose your car and get your car pretty much unstable. But Felix Bakero looks like he's getting a really great turn into those corners. Great out of turn 10, lining his car up for turn 11. And onto this long straight where you normally in the dry weather you get DRS, but because these conditions the DRS is disabled. And we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. keep with Felix Bakero into turn 12 and ending his second sector in a 1.11.0. Got enough traction out of that corner, so let's see what he can do in his last sector. This corner is also so tricky in the dry, and of course in the wet is that much trickier. Into the second to last corner, keeps it within the lines, and into the last corner, and let's see what he can put on the board for his first flying lap in this session. It's a 147.2. Mr. Colucci followed in a 147.6. TD going fast in a 146.2. And Ross over the line going second in a 147.001. Scuderia goes second and just behind his teammate in a 146.5. And just Smaller Smiley, the currently the last driver who is going out on track for his flying lap. And let's see what Platty can do during his lap. No, I didn't overtake. It's not my greatest race, but gladly to do the stream tonight to get this mind off things. So, Platty into the second to last corner. Going over the start finish in a 147.2 and going 6 fastest. So Greg in this part of the track where it's really busy at the moment, and I think Josh is just behind this pack. Oh, and Greg just lost it. Just making a little bit of space with the driver just in front of him. So we have just enough space to make his drive for a flying lap. And let's see what Josh can do. Are there drivers who fueled up a little bit more to go for a few laps? Into the S's. First sector in a 28.7. Hopefully he won't have any burdens from any drivers just in front of him. Going into turn 11. And it seems like he hasn't any problems with the driver just in front, with the driver in front of him. So just coming into turn 12, goes wide and lifted enough to just keep his lap. Looks like, but it wouldn't be a great lap with that little bit of step out. So let's see what our featured driver of the day does. Smaller Smiley coming into the third sector. With Mr. Wiggles going third, I believe. with all drivers still improving on their laps. So Oliver Smiley going 10th in a 147.4, so he's still currently not safe because he just dropped to 11th. With most of the first runs already done, TD is currently fastest, just like he was in the first qualifying. So it looks pretty fast in these conditions. Mr. Wiggles invalidated his lap. And Josh improves 2 tenths, so let's see if he also improves in the second sector. He improves 5 tenths, so that will bring him up to P2. So if he can win just a bit more, then he will be into the fight with the lap of TD. So let's see if our championship leader can get into the fight, making the most of the track that he can do into the last corner. Coming over start finish line and going third fastest in a 146.2 to 1. Only 100ths of a second slower than Ross in P2. Yeah, let's hope that Mason can find a little bit more time, that he can make it up to into qualifying 3. Patch currently up as pace in the first sector, so let's see if he can improve and get himself into Q3 with 3:40 left on the clock. Coming out of turn 11. Trying to get a slipstream from the car in front. Into turn 12 and ending his second sector in a 1:11.8, and he lost 6 tenths of a second. So he will probably won't be improving on his time. Hungry thrown into pit lane. So currently in the danger zone, Smaller Smiley, Greg, Mr. Colucci and Mason. And of course the drivers just in front, Hungry Throne and Felix Bakero. All drivers are really in the danger zone. Let's see, Mason invalidated his lap, but has enough ERS to go for another run. So let's see if Mason can improve on his 148.5. And he needs more than a second, 1.3 seconds to get him in the top 10, but maybe a little bit more to really get him safe. TD retired from the session. Oh, TD had a crash, I believe, because I see a yellow flag in sector 1 from a Ferrari and it's TD. Oh, that's a shame. Oh. Good evening, Patch. Is it still going to be wet all weekend long? Or is it only... And can our featured driver of the day get himself into the safe zone? With Mr. Wiggles retiring from the session. With 146.0, I think we will be safe during the session. Smiley into the second to last corner. And smaller Smiley ending his lap in a 147.2 and going 8th fastest. And Mason 6/10 up on his time in the first sector. So can Mason get into the safe zone? With the session over. So this will be his last opportunity with the Mercedes going out of the way. Didn't saw how much he was up in the second sector, but let's see how he ends his lap. This tricky corner. And into the last corner. He will go over start finish. Going 14th fastest in a 147.5. Hungry Throne currently a little bit faster. Can he get faster than Smaller Smiley? And yes, he can, and that will be that Smaller Smiley will be out of qualifying. So we were going to lose Mason, Mr. Clucci, Felix Bakerow, and we're gonna lose Smaller Smiley, and sadly also we're gonna lose TD because I believe he crashed during this session. And Scuderia in the other Ferrari going fast in a 145.8, and with that time he also will beat his teammate with only a few hundredths of a second. So there you have it for qualifying 2. Scuderia going fast in a 145.8. Second place Mr. Wiggles, Ross 3rd, Josh 4th, Deflated Wee 5th, Hungry Throne 6th, 7th Majestic, 8th Platty, and 9th Greg. Sadly we lost TD, Smaller Smiley, Felix Bakerow, Mr. Colucci and Mason. So within a few seconds we're going to see qualifying 3, and we're going to see we'll be into P1 till P9 because TD will be starting in P10. Good evening, Good evening, Steely and Mason. How are you doing? So qualifying 3 on our way, and the way the game starts for to see which driver will be the first one out on track. And maybe they will be filling up their tanks to go for a few laps. And I think it will be Platty who will be the first one out on track. Number 29 Alfa Romeo. First bunch of drivers out on track. 4 drivers still in pit lane, waiting for the right opportunity, with Greg, I believe, the first one to join the drives out on track, followed by Deflated, and Josh and Majestic will be waiting a little bit longer. Seems like Josh and Majestic are playing the waiting game, with Laddie entering the last sector and Josh going out on track. And Laddie entering the last sector of last corner into the start-finish straight, going uphill and entering turn 1. Followed by, of course, turn 2. It's very important as a sector where we lost a little bit of momentum going into the second portion of that sector. Coming to turn 9 and invalidated in turn 10. With Scuderia, who went fastest in the second qualifying. So let's see what he can do in this third qualifying session. Yeah, it's a little bit of a wiggle coming into that corner and out of that corner, but keeps his car into the straight line and into this triple right-hander to line his car for the second to last corner. Keeps it within the lines and makes the most of his opportunity to the track into the start-finish straight and going fast in 146.2. So Mr. Wiggles over the line in a 147.2, but I believe it was invalidated because it doesn't register it on my screen. Greg going third fastest at the moment because Hungry Phone goes a little bit faster than Greg. But Deflated Week going fastest of them all in first place in the 145.9. And Patch starting a flying lap. And Josh still with a valid lap. So let's see what he can put on the timing sheet. To the start finish straight and going fast in the 145.8. And that's 10 faster than Deflated did. So those guys are really matched up to each other. But like we saw in the first qualifying session, Scuderia did also such a lap time. So let's see if we can do it this time around, coming out of the last corner. And puts a 145.7 on the timing sheet and go fastest. And Mr. Wiggles going third fastest in a 145.9. So let's see what Patch can do on his first flying lap. Into the last corner. And goes 7th fastest in a 147.9. So he still needs 3/10 to make up on his time to get into the mix with Hungry Throne and Greg just in front of him. Russ still out on track, didn't put a lap time in. I think he invalidated. Going purple in sector 2 in a 110.9. Has a little bit of a moment coming out of that corner, but keeps it pretty much in a straight line. And keeps it valid into the last corner. And what can Ross put on the timing sheets? And going fast in a 145.7, only 300ths of a second faster than Scuderia did in second place. So Ross really improved, really made up on his time. So only driver who didn't put a lap time in is Platty in P9. He's currently in pit lane. I don't know for sure if Mr. Wiggles is going for a lap at the moment, so yeah, he's currently 3/10 up on his time. So what can Mr. Wiggles do? Can he get into the fight with the drivers just in front? He's still 3/10 up on his time in the second sector, so if he keeps with that, then he will go fastest with a 10 faster than Ross did. So let's see if he can hold on his leap, but into the last corner. And he goes second fastest, and he gets between Ross and Scuderia. The steer is so close in. It's really great to see those fights. If you see the top 5, they're within 2/10 of each other. It's crazy. And normally Hungry Throne is also in the mix, and Greg and Patch, yeah, it's crazy. For now, I don't know how when the next season will start. I will advise you to keep an eye on the Discord. We will keep everybody informed when the new season will start and how the season will how it will be formed. So keep an eye on the Discord, and the management will bring out a briefing how we will go through to next season. So for now, I can't help you with that, but back to the action out on track with 35 seconds left on the clock. Mr. Wiggles invalidated this lap, so currently Ross fastest in 145.7. And Scuderia is 7,000ths of a second faster than he was before, but the first sector is just a short sector. Let's see if he can improve on this in the second sector. With Josh going fast in a 145.4, and Scuderia is also 10th faster than he was before, but he needs more to get in front of Josh, who put in a time really just at the moment that you want to put the time in. So let's see if somebody can attack that time from Josh. And Scuderia will be the first one to have a try. Coming into the last corner. And going fast in 145.4. Next over the line will be Deflated Wii. And what can Deflated do? And Deflated improves on the time, but still stays. Oh. And what can Ross do? Coming out to the last corner. Improves, but stays third. In the same time as Josh. Exactly the same time. How crazy is this? And Mr. Wiggles improves, but not his position. Only the one who can improve is Hungry Throne, but he invalidated this lap. So Scuderia will take pole position in a 145.4. So there you have it, Scuderia first place in a 145.4, followed by Josh in a 145.452 with exactly the same time, but sadly set in second. Ross takes third in the same time as Josh. Fourth, Mr. Wiggles in a 145.5. followed by Deflated Wiener 145.8, Hungry Phone 6, 7th Majestic, 8th Greg, and sadly without a time Pladdy in 9th. So there you have it for qualifying. We got a 5-minute break, and after that 5-minute break we will get straight into racing. And for now, during this 5-minute break we will have a little view of our drivers, because like I said during the session, Smaller Smiley, our 27-year-old driver out of Sheffield, is our featured driver. He is currently an IT contractor, and hopefully it will work a little bit better. He's an IT contractor. His dream job is not working. I think that's everybody's dream job, but sadly everybody has to get money. Um, he has other hobbies or interests. He plays a Pokemon trading card game at a highly competitive level. Okay. I don't know really much about that, but yeah. He is using a wheel, TSXW base, a TLCM load cell pedals, and Ferrari F1 replica wheel. I don't know what this all stands for, but the replica wheel for Ferrari, yeah, I got a weak heart for Ferrari. His favorite driver of all time is Sebastian Vettel, and his favorite tracks on the calendar are probably street circuits like Singapore or Monaco, or maybe Japan, like where we were last week. His racing strengths is not crashing, clean driving, strategy, and tire management. And if I look at the screen, we will have a dry race, so maybe that will be changing during the race, and then strategy will play a bit. And his rival is Sketchy Grip. I don't know if he drives anymore, but there you have a short compilation of our driver Smaller Smiley. I'm getting a little bit jealous, Novitec, if you, like you said, if you're driving for that you get your driving lessons and your racing driving lessons. Yeah, that makes me a bit jealous. So wish you good luck with that, of course. And of course, everybody, thanks in the chat for not spoiling the scores of the World Cup, so I can watch them after the race. Yeah, I lost a little bit. My connection got lost. Sorry, guys. Luckily, I'm back. Sorry for the delay and the problems. My internet got shortly disconnected. Into this race with short delay with Scuderia just in front of Deflated Wii. And Deflated Wii has a little bit of a look into the inside. Scuderia still in front and side by side through those long right-hander and Deflated Wii just in front of Scuderia into the second to last corner, and Scuderia has a little bit of a look to make an overtake opportunity. But Deflated Wii going fastest and going in front, and Ross already has a look by Scuderia and make also a move on Scuderia, drop back to third. Deflated Wii in front, Ross in second, Scuderia third, Mr. Wiggles in fourth. Luckily it got back. Luckily it's back, but now I need to get back into the groove of the race. But Mr. Wiggles, Scuderia, and Ross, all cars still within a second of each other. With Hungry Throw making a move on Josh, and Josh makes a move back, but side by side, and did they touch each other with Patch also making a move on Hungry Throne, and Hungry Throne dropping back to P7. Patch already has a 3-second penalty. Deflated Wii made up the most positions, finding himself back in P1. And also TJ Seeley from the back into P13. With Hungry Throne making a move on Majestic, who goes a little bit wide into turn 1. A yellow flag for Belly, I believe, in sector 3. Who's the only driver currently on the soft cut tire. All other drivers are mixed, with some drivers on the hard, some other drivers on the medium tires. So Ross dropped back from Deflated Wii, who's making really the most of this opportunity. With Scuderia made the move on Ross going into P2 on those medium tires, and Mr. Wiggles already in the gearbox of Ross. Josh in a fight with Hungry Throne and Majestic, followed a little bit further away by Greg and TD, who made up the position from the start. Got a yellow flag. It looks like Steely dropped back. And it looks like Scuderia has a little bit of more momentum than Ross has. So he's really made up 4/10 to Deflated. And that's a second gap to Ross. And a yellow flag for Esmafrog, who's dropping back. Throne really trying to make as much opportunity as he can from the track that he had. Looking at his backlight, he doesn't have that much ERS anymore, but he has DRS on the start-finish straight. And will he make a move on Josh? But it looks like Josh can't defend his position through this third sector. And Hungry had a little bit of a moment. Patch is now really close to Hungry Throne again. So both cars got DRS. The field really settling down, and the front of the pack also really settling down with deflated wheel out in front. With Scuderia really slowly closing in. Mr. Wiggles really close to Ross, who's dropping back to those two front runners. Then we get this really big midfield with TD really close to Greg. Can he make a move on the start-finish straight with the DRS on those hard tires? But he has DRS, and that makes a really big I can't get the word for it at the moment, but advantage that he has from to Greg. So let's see if his tires works a little bit better than those from Greg, who already are 5 laps old. TD finds himself back in P8. And Mr. Wiggles made a move on Ross. With Ross following Mr. Wiggles closely, and Hungry Throne picking up a 3-second penalty. So will Ross make a move on Mr. Wiggles, or can't he pick up with the pace with Mr. Wiggles in front of him? All the drivers are pretty close together, but not that kind of close to make a move on the other driver. In the meantime, Scuderia is closing the gap on the plated wheel. The gap is in the meantime 1.2 seconds. The yellow flag in sector 3, and it's for Greg, who's really spun around. After a wet qualifying session, it looks like we got a dry race for the time being at the moment. Patch, Hungry Throne and Josh still in a fight for P5. Then we got a little bit of a gap to Ross, who's still in a fight with Mr. Wiggles, but the gap from Mr. Wiggles to Scuderia is a bit decreasing at the moment, but still a pretty decent gap. Scuderia looks like he has a really great race at the moment. It's really making up time and almost within the DRS zone of deflated wheel. It keeps him pretty nice out of it. So. Only still 2 drivers with penalties at the moment. It looks pretty decent at the moment with penalties. And I rather kept my mouth shut. Sorry guys, I had to keep my mouth shut. The gap between deflated wheel and Scuderia looks to be stable at the moment, and between Wiggles and Scuderia looks to be increased. Looks like Steely found a little bit of momentum back and could be joining the back of Mason within a few turns or a few laps. Van is currently 6 tenths behind Greg. He's currently in P11. Esmer Frog is also closing in on Mr. Colucci. And Hungry Thorn already got 6 seconds penalty, so. And the yellow flag, I think it's Tilly again. Oh, that's a shame. Ross has and it looks like Ross has a little bit of troubles getting the momentum back, and rather has to look behind him than in front of him. Josh really close by, and Josh is also on a hard tire, so Memphis isn't that good to know how much points Josh needs to become champion, but at the moment he found himself some really great pace from the start and finds himself back in 5th. And Felix Baker making a pit stop, so he will be the first one of the drivers to go for a hard tire and probably will drive to the end. Still with 18 laps to go. Maybe it was a bit too early, but we'll have to wait and see. Pelly going for the pit stop after 9 laps on those soft tires. And Josh making a move on Ross, and Josh is in front of Ross. And Hungry Throne is also into this fight. So Ross is really in trouble, and Hungry Throne has a little bit of a moment coming out of the corner. And Patch closing in on Hungry Throne. With Josh picking up Josh on the start finish straight with Deflated Week coming into the pit lane. So Scuderia will pick up the first place. And will the undercut work for Deflated Week? Let's see if he drops back into a gap or into the field. It could be just in front of Platty or just behind him. And looks like he's just in front of him if I look at the track map. This fight between Ross, Hungry Throne and Majestic. This fight is really on. With Scuderia needs to go long or hopefully our hopes that Deflated we are going to lose a lot of time. Deflated we going on those medium tires. They will need to make another pit stop, I believe. And Hungry Throne going into the pit lane, same as Mr. Wiggles and Scuderia. So that will promote Josh to P1, followed by Ross and both drivers on those hard tires. And Patch currently in third, also on the medium tires, so I think he will go next lap. Didn't pay that much attention to this to the pit stop strategies in the no assist race, but Throne picking up another 3-second penalty, so I believe he's currently at 9 seconds. And Deflated we still in front of Scuderia, and I think Deflated we started also on the medium, so I think Deflated will need to go for another pit stop. So Patch making a pit stop, coming into the pit from P3. Promoting TD to P3. And Deflated we going fastest. Smaller Smiley picking up a 3-second penalty. So there are drivers getting penalties like Platty at the moment, also getting a 3-second penalty. TD starting in P10. And Ross picking up a penalty. So that could be interesting for the finish of the race, but TD... Ross had a moment. And he dropped back to P3 with TD starting from P10, now in P2. deflated wheel already made a pit stop on those medium tires in P3, followed closely by Ross, who doesn't use his DRS, or maybe he doesn't have DRS. 1.8 seconds behind them, they are followed by Scuderia, who's on those new set of hard tires. And deflated wheel picking up a 3-second penalty. So that could be pretty helpful for Scuderia at the end, but it ain't over until the fat lady sings, I believe they say. So currently Josh in front of the pack with 14 laps old hard tires, and I think he will have to go to lap 18, 17 or 18 to go in for a set of medium tires to make that stint work. So going off the pit stops that they made earlier, the other drivers. So currently we got 7 drivers with penalties at the moment. And deflated we and Ross, both drivers, both front runners, got penalties. So and Scuderia already really closing in on Ross on those new set of hard tires. We're followed by 3.5 seconds by Mr. Wiggles. And Scuderia is really closing in. He's already been in a second of Ross in front of him. With the DRS open, again Ross defended into turn 1. There has a look, and they didn't touch each other. And Smaller Smiley coming into the pit with 16 laps to go. Be the crossover point, so have to wait and see when Josh is coming in. By the looks of it, he will be dropping back to behind Patch or just in front of Patch. And Pelly got a 3-second penalty, and Scuderia has a little bit of luck if he can make a move on Ross. But Ross still kept defending his position. And will Ross make a pit stop this lap, or will he wait for another lap? He really makes up a lot of time for, and Josh makes a pit stop from P1 and TD is following him. So deflated wheel back in front of the race. Ross still out. And now Scuderia makes a move into turn 1, and he's on the inside. And he's in front of Ross with those new set of tires. So I can't believe that deflated will make it until the end on those tires, but maybe I miscalculated it. Wiggles getting a 3-second penalty. So Scuderia needs to make up a lot of time to deflate it. Time that he lost behind Ross, I believe. Ross it will be time to make a pit stop, or maybe we'll push it to go to those soft tires, but still think it's too early. Then you have to wait more 2 or 3 laps more, but we'll wait and see. But Scuderia looks to be picking up pace. It's almost a second in front of Ross. But Ross, I think Ross is just out of DRS, and now Ross is going into pit lane. So Ross will be dropping back, Mr. Wiggles in P3, and Scuderia is currently 4.2 seconds behind Deflated Wii. Ross in P7. Ross is dropping back behind Felix Bakerow. So Patch in P7, TD P6, Josh P5, and all drivers are really settling down, looks like, and with 18 laps, lap 18 from 28. They are currently 4.3 seconds behind Deflated Wii. 10 laps to go. I think those tires will be done at the end, but I saw stranger things, but I think those tires can't last to the end from Deflated. I hope they will, but it could be pretty hard. And Josh picking up the fastest lap of the race in 1:36.3. Currently in P5, 1.5 seconds behind Hungry Throne. And Ross really fast and picking up P8 with Felix Bakerow on the inside. Felix Bakerow just in front and into the SS, and Felix Bakerow is behind Ross. Ross made a really great move on that for P8. Now 4 seconds behind Majestic. And Ashma Frog is really closing in on Mason for P14. Meantime, keeping an eye on Felix Baker, who is still close with Ross, but it looks like Ross is going to manage that position because he's now gaining time. Sadly, TJ Steely spun out into the last part of the S's, and Esma Frog could gain a little bit, but can't get the move. And Novitec, if you watch the no assist race back, there were more penalties, I believe. And I believe Hungry Phone picked up his 12-second penalty at the moment. Yeah, he got the most penalties of the race. So I'm not bothering about penalties and about finishing positions. Well, we will see it after the race. But it's great to see some drivers without any penalties. as it could be making a very big difference at the end. And Scuderia is almost within the 3 seconds, so it looks like he's gaining a bit by bit on deflated Wii. And Asmafrog also really gained on Mason. So will he have a great exit into the DRS from Mason? DRS open. And on the inside, coming into turn 12. And has made the mistake. In the meantime, solely in front, deflated Wii made a really gutsy call to go in that early. And Mr. Wiggles picking up a 3-second penalty. I believe it's his second of the night. So he will have added 6 seconds to his finishing time. And Scuderia still without any penalties. But I think it really hurt him how long he got stuck behind Ross. I think that it hurt him a lot compared to deflated Wii, who was just in front of that fight. The whole field is really pretty on its own. It's not that much fighting happening at the moment. Looks like a bit of a tactical race. When are the tires from deflated going to be done? Last time we saw them pit after 12 to 14 laps, I believe. After 12 laps. So then you have 6 laps left. If you have to make a pit stop, and then you will go to the soft tire, but and Greg making a pit stop. Now making a pit stop, so yeah, I think that is the right call to go to the soft tire at the moment, but I think deflated Wii doesn't have that much opportunity to make a pit stop. If he makes a pit stop, he will be dropping back. He will be dropping back behind Ross. And he makes a pit stop, so yeah. I already expected it, but I'm asking myself if it's the right choice, but we have to wait and see. And Hungry Throne also making a pit stop. Drivers on the soft tires, after on those 10 lap old medium tires, then they will have to make a pit stop. And Platty getting a 3-second penalty. So deflated dropped back to P5, handing over P1 to Scuderia, who lost some time to Mr. Wiggles, I believe. Who gained a lot to Scuderia. And behind him is Ross on 2.3 seconds. Then we got a big gap from 7.7 seconds to the TD in the second Ferrari. And then we got deflated on those new soft tires. We have still 6 laps to go, or 5 laps to go. And deflated is really pushing, putting in a purple sector too. So he's really getting hard on TD just in front of him. And Mr. Wiggles is gaining really fast on Scuderia. But Mr. Wiggles got 6-second penalty. So I think it wouldn't be enough to go for a victory for deflated, because he's too far back from the drivers in front, and Mason picking up a 3-second penalty. And Hungry Throne picking up his 5th penalty of the night, I believe. Is now on 15 seconds. Greg going fastest, currently in P15, so it wouldn't get him extra point. And TD and deflated are in the fight, and TD is on the inside of deflated is on the inside of TD. And the deflated make the mistake and gets himself in P4. 8.1 seconds behind Josh for the podium. I think that's also a bit too far away, but you never know on those soft tires. It can go very quick. Taking the fastest lap of the race in 1:35.5. And Mr. Wiggles half a second behind Scuderia, going into turn 11. Of course, he's been within the second, so he can open his DRS. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. Let's see what there happens. So still Scuderia still in front of Mr. Wiggles and gained a little bit of momentum. But Josh is also closing in on those two in front. And of course deflated also gaining. Scuderia still has to keep up 3 more laps. Break the slipstream. And coming into the S's. And I really like this camera view. And I think deflated is just it was a gamble, but it was just a bit too gotchy. Bloody picking up a 3-second penalty. Only 8 drivers without a penalty, so more than half of the field got penalties at the moment. With Miss Wiggles really close to Scuderia, going uphill into turn 1. And Josh also within that second. But he's on an old set of medium tires, who's at the end of their lives. But still, 2 laps to go. With Mr. Wiggles cutting that penalty. That 6-second penalty. Yeah, that's gonna hurt him at the end. At the moment he can only use the DRS to get close to him, but he can make a move to get past him. TD making up the most positions, finding himself in P5 at the moment. And Hungry Throne picking up another penalty, so that will be his 6th penalty of the night. Getting 18 seconds on penalties at the moment, so that will hurt him really hard at the end. Scuderia into the last time into the S's, coming out of the S's, with Mr. Wiggles half a second behind him. Behind him, Ross of Josh. Inflated, almost 7 seconds behind Josh. Followed by TD, Ross in P6, Majestic P7. And coming into the last sector of this Grand Prix from USA at Coda. There in front without any penalties. Driving a really great race. Coming into the last corner. Keeping it safe. Over the line and picking up the victory. Going first Scuderia. Second Josh. Third Mr. Wiggles. Fourth Deflated Wii. TD coming in P5. Rush coming over the line. In P6, P7, Majestic. Hungry Throne, P8, but got 18 seconds of penalties. So we have to wait to see where he drops back. Felix Bakebro goes into P8, dropping Hungry Throne back. Buddy coming over the line in P10, but crashing over the line. Didn't know what happened over there. Jump Band coming in P11. Smaller Smiley, our featured driver, coming in P10, picking up the last point. Bloody P12, Greg P13, Esmer Ford P14, P15 Mason P13 Pelly, Mr. Colucci coming in P17, and in last place TJ Steely. the driver of the day given to TD. But there you have it, our race winner in the Ferrari, Mr. Scuderia. Winning for Ferrari in first place. What a great podium. So there you have it. The results from the United States Grand Prix. Scuderia wins the race, followed by Josh, Mr. Wiggle P3, Deflated Wee P4, TD P5, Ross P6, Majestic P7, Felix Baker P8, Hungry Throne P9, Smaller Smiley P10, John Pant P11, P12 Pleddy, P13 Greg, Esmaf Rock P14, Mason P15, Pelly P16, P17 Mr. Colucci, and in last place P18 TJ Steely. So there you have it, the Grand Prix of America. One race left in this week at the 81 race of 82 race on Sunday. Again at USA at our normal race time. I hope everybody enjoyed our race. Driver of the day will go to our race winner, Scuderia. And I hope to see everybody again next week, and of course coming Sunday with the 82 race. For now, I want to thank everybody and wish everybody a very nice evening. See you next